y'all, it's Abby May from Abby May Art, back with another video. So today's painting, I'm continuing to do test paintings for my commission, for my client. So I've done just like the house colors with a white background, and that one, although it was kind of interesting, didn't really have as much contrast. I did a second one that I didn't film, where I used a really dark blue background, and that really helped with the contrast. But today's video, we're gonna try using a dark teal background because that's one of my client's favorite colors. And I've added a drop of silicone oil in it to get some really good cells. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be using the house paint again, so I have that all mixed and ready. So let's get to it. All right, so starting off, I'm gonna use this kind of dark teal color. It's called Viridian through Jerry's Artarama, because that's where I get my big jugs of paint. I've added my drop of silicone oil, like I mentioned earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the base. So before I get started, one thing that I had noticed for like the drizzles that I do where I blow out from the center is when I'm using a lot of different colors, it ends up being a lot of paint. So I end up having a lot of paint coming off the canvas. So I'm going to try something a little bit different today and use less of the background color. So I'm not going to worry about like covering all of my edges and stuff, because that will get taken care of when I layer the other colors and then finally blow it out. So that's enough talking. Let's start painting. Okay, so again, I'm not really worried about covering all the edges. You know, the areas where I could kind of do that, I went ahead. But you'll see, I mean, there's going to be a lot of paint going on here. So I'm going to have plenty to cover the edges. All right, so I'm going to start with some of the lighter color house paints. It's definitely been an interesting experiment using the house paints. The first test piece that I did end up using some Floetrol. So like for my acrylic paints, I always add Floetrol to get it to be more liquidy and smooth. And for the house paints, the first one, I only used a little bit of Floetrol, and I noticed that when it dried, it had a lot more texture. So this batch of the house paint, I did a 1-to-1 ratio with the house paint, and I noticed that it didn't leave as much texture. It's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a different thing, you know? I've been doing all of my test paintings on 2-to-1 ratio canvases. So like this is a 12 by 24, because when I do the real thing, it's going to be on a 2-to-1 ratio canvas. It will be a 30 by 60 inch when we get time to do the real thing. I really like this Viridian color, but sometimes it dries really dark. It will almost look like it's black instead of this dark teal green. So from the other test paintings, where I was telling you about all that paint that was coming off the sides and how much paint was coming off the canvas, it was so much that I was able to scoop it up off my puppy pad and set it aside for something. Right now it's like a blue-green, kind of like I guess like a robin's egg, but if it was toned down a bit to be more gray. That's what it looks like to me. So I had mixed that all together and set it aside, and maybe we can use it for another painting. But it's got silicone oil in it too, so it would be good for like this style of painting where I just kind of drizzle on the colors and then blow it out and then let the cells do its thing. Oh, I should have mixed up more of this paint. I'll have to do that for the next one, probably. I really enjoy these styles of paintings that I do, where you just, you don't really have to worry about where the colors are going. You just kind of drizzle and let it do its thing. It's really freeing to just let go of that sort of control, Just letting it do its thing. I feel like I've said that a couple of times. Oh my god, I'm such a dork. Making sure to focus my drizzle towards the edges, because I know I'll need to cover those. I also like the way that these look before I blow them out. I love like the chaotic lines and all of that. I don't know, it looks so cool. I really am tempted to just kind of like run my finger through there, like make some sort of funky design. Okay, so let's add this blue. I was really excited to come in here and paint today. It's been a busy couple weeks, and so I haven't been able to get in here and paint as often. And when that happens, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than it's kind of like when you have a coil or a spring and you slowly like put pressure on it until it compresses. That's how I feel like when I don't get to paint for a while. And then like I'll get into my studio and then I'll just like paint like crazy. And then I'll a little bit overdo it and get really exhausted and need a little bit of a break. But I'll always return. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry I'm sniffling. Here in North Carolina, the weather has been going hot and cold this winter, so definitely makes my nose run. And I'm really trying not to sniffle on my videos because that is not pleasant. So just apologies in advance. I'm going to try to be more conscious of it. Conscious, yeah. Okay, so I know I did those three. I don't think I did this one. And then that'll be done for the house paints. Actually, let me do this one first. This is probably my all-time favorite paint color. It's called Emerald Green. Another shout out to Jerry's. Absolutely love this color. And I'm not typically somebody who likes green, but there's just something so pleasing about this one. Maybe just because like it's not as saturated, or it's just like a different shade. Yeah, used to always really love blue. And then I started to really like yellow, and I still very much do. And I like this emerald green and then the Viridian, which is the background color. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with color, really. That's just what it comes down to. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this gray. Okay, I think it's just this house color that I need to use. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've used all of the others. I don't know, this one kind of still looks a bit full, so I'm going to use a little bit. I used gray, I used pink, emerald green, the blue, oh, lavender, that's the last one that we gotta use. So hard to keep track of all the colors, especially the house colors. They're kind of similar. You've got some like whites and then really light grays, and then there's two shades of like green grays. I tried to like put them aside a certain way when I was done, but I don't know if I did that totally successfully. Oh man. All right. Not gonna go crazy with the lavender. That's what I did in my last test painting, and although it still looks good, my client said that it was maybe a little bit too much. I was kind of just trying to use up the rest of what I had. So I probably did go a little bit crazy with it. All right. Okay, so that's all of the colors. Let me just kind of scoot these out of the way a little. Okay, so that's all the colors. So let's go ahead and blow it out. So what I am going to do is, like the other ones of this style, I start from the center and then blow out in each direction. And then, you know, fill in the areas in between. And the center will kind of look a little bit funky, but what I'm going to use is my handy dandy balloon and smush it in the center. And that will not only help bring focus to the center of the painting, but it'll help take care of those colors that kind of just like get stuck, since that's our starting point. All right, so I am gonna adjust the camera so you can see from the top down, and then we'll get going. Okay, we are ready to get started here. Man, just before I start painting, nobody tells you how hard it is to like set up your camera angles and all that stuff. And then I've also been thinking about, you know, in some of my videos, there's a glare from the wet paint. So I've been trying to work on that. So right now, I'm hoping this is good. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, ooh, that's fun. I really like the Viridian as the background color. Still maybe a little bit too much lavender. I need to maybe add that in earlier in my color layering. Because definitely the color that you layer last will pop up more. Okay, I love it though. It's very like whimsical, I think. Yeah, it's definitely like playful and fun and like a little magical. I always have such a hard time describing what I'm feeling or like what I'm seeing in a painting. That's why I paint though. Okay, so as you can see here where we started, it's a little bit harder for the paint to kind of mix. So that's where the balloon is going to come in handy. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and press it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I sniffled. I feel like I want to do another. Ooh, but look at the bottom of my balloon. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Yeah, I know she's not gonna like this bit of lavender that's just kind of hanging out there. So I'm gonna do a couple more smashes around it. Yeah, I think for the next one, definitely put lavender further towards the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna definitely need one up in this top right corner. Great. That's cute. And then you've got like, so when you use your balloon and kind of press it down, it's going to take all of those colors, and especially the bottom one, and bring it up to the surface. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting with the extra balloon smashes. It helps kind of fix those things I was talking about. But I'm worried she's gonna say too much lavender again. And that's okay. I mean, that's why we do these tests. We gotta see what's going on and get it just right before we do the real thing. Just gonna touch up my corners. That one's good. But yeah, I don't know if you could see all the paint that was coming off, and I didn't even like put the base color like all the way to the edges, and it was still like very much a lot of paint. All right, just gonna scrape these sides. All right, so I am going to bring you down for a closer look, and yeah. So there's all of the balloon smashes we did in the center. Yeah, definitely the lavender is making itself heard and seen. I am a bit worried she's going to say the lavender is a little bit too much. So I think for my next test that I do, I'm going to not make it last, like the last color that I layer on there. But I think this one looks pretty good. We definitely used a lot of the lighter house paint colors, so it's nice and lightened up. But we've got that dark background contrast, and then the pinks and some blues. Yeah. right, so I'm gonna let this dry over the next few days, and then we will check out the dry results together. So see you in a bit. So here are the dry results for this one. I think the center looks really cool. I did the multiple balloon smashes in the center so that, there's this big spot of purple here that I didn't want just hanging out. I think it looks really interesting. So this one ended up being closer to what my client wants. So I'm going to be doing another test of these, but with a bit more of that Payne's gray in the first test that I did, and then maybe a little bit more pink too. I meant to add some more of the base color in here, but I kind of forgot because I wanted it to kind of tie in a little bit more, but that's okay. Wow, this area is really interesting. It's like kind of all sweeping to the side. Yeah. So for this one, I changed up how I mixed my house paint for this. So this makes the surface a bit smoother than that first one that I did. So I ended up doing a 1-to-1 ratio of house paint to Floetrol. And that smoothed it out quite a bit. So, yeah, so let me know what you think. What do you think of these color combinations? I like this cluster here the most. All right, so that's it for now. I will be doing one more test of these with more of these colors, but a little bit more pink and some Payne's gray from the first test that I did. And if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.